Paranormal Sundays. I am Gabriel Von Graves, and tonight I come to you from deep in the mountains here in Tennessee, a land of shadowed ridges and wandering hollows, where the mist clings to the trees like a memory from that refuses to die. Behind me, the mountains rise ancient and watchful, their silence broke only by the rustle of unseen things in the unknown. From the rusted frame of this old cabin where I sit, every creak of the footboards beneath my feet feel like an echo of those who came before, travelers, who came, sought shelter in the wilderness, perhaps unaware of the strange lights that have been long distance in these trees and the skies. But my friends, I'm not alone. From far away, carried on the signal across the miles, Raven Knight joins us tonight, broadcasting from the dark woods of Wisconsin, where shadows grow tall and whispers are never far behind. Together, we will cross state lines and perhaps even cross the veil itself. And what brings us here this evening is no ordinary tale. Tonight, we descend into one of the most chilling and enduring accounts of the history of the unknown, the story of Betty and Barney Hill. Two ordinary people driving a lonely road in New Hampshire in 1961, who claimed to have an accounting something extraordinary, something not from this earth, an abduction that would change their lives forever, and in turn, change the way the world looks at the skies above. So settle in, my friends, lock the doors, dim the lights, and let the weight of the mountains and the stillness of the woods wrap around you. For tonight, we are not just telling a story, we are retracing the steps of two souls who dare to speak the unspeakable. This is All Things Paranormal Sundays, and our descent begins now. Welcome, Raven. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Mr. Gabriel?
It is a pleasure to see you from such a long distances.
I know we are
Cheers, my
far,
friend.
far apart actually right now, but oh, cheers.
Only separated by space, my friend.
So you are in Tennessee currently.
I am. In the
I love that.
foothills of the Smoky Mountains, and I'm loving it. In this really old, rustic shelter, which is gorgeous, smells like cedar, and it really does creak beneath my feet. What a gorgeous setting and a gorgeous evening. Perfect setting for Darkwoods Paranormal Sundays.
I love this. I love this very much. I am so
I may
happy.
not come back, Raven.
Don't say that. Although you say that, I'm like, okay, well, we'll investigate over there, I guess. I mean, oh darn, Raven loves to
Well,
travel.
if anybody here in Tennessee would love to meet Raven and myself from Darkwoods Paranormal, do reach out at darkwoodsparanormal.com. Or where how else can they reach us there, Raven?
They can actually send us a message on Facebook or TikTok or any of our socials too. I mean, I'll get
Are
back to you.
here while we're live.
Well, you're over
Send us a
live.
message and we will respond back.
Yeah, for sure we will. We actually love to travel and go and investigate and see all of
One of
these.
the, I think one of the best things about our jobs here at Darkwoods is meeting the wonderful fans and and, and folks that reach out to us. I do believe that it is definitely a blessing. I'm very happy to be part of this.
I was gonna say, I also agree with that. We've met such wonderful people, and I think I'll at this point give a shout out to Trish from Uber Paranormal because I got to
He is
see
an
her.
absolutely phenomenal person, Trish. Thank you for your hospitality a couple weeks ago. We appreciate it.
Yeah. We've just been able to meet these wonderful people and like kind of validate their experiences. I will tell more, but I got to meet Rick and Barbara yesterday from Menominee. Well, not well, Menominee, Michigan.
Well, why don't you tell us where you were last night?
Yeah, I yeah, I was doing overnight investigation in Menominee, Michigan, with this
Back
couple.
in the UP.
I was back in the UP for the second weekend in a
Yeah.
row. Why not?
Just out of a whim, Raven gets hold of me. He's like, "Listen, Grape, I am going to Michigan." I said, "Raven, we were just there," and he said, "Yeah," and we're descending again. And I was like, "That's why I love you."
Well, opportunity knocks, Like I'm answering that door.
Absolutely.
There was a So it was the very last time that anyone could investigate that house because Rick and Barbara are moving out of the house at the end of the month. And
Hmm.
another group that we know, which would be CAPS, they from over here in Wisconsin, they were able to secure a spot to investigate it, and they opened it up for the public. And I jumped on it, and I invited Trish because I knew she lived over there, and we went. So I still have to go through all the
That's
footage.
way cool.
Yeah, and I'm super tired. Besides that, um,
What is it? A 5 hour drive, something like that?
well, 3.5 to 4.
6?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. This
okay.
one was closer than Marquette, so we're bearing with you. You're a little
Well,
spotty over there, but we're bearing with it. But um,
well,
I
I'm in the middle of nowhere, and there's hills all around me. So
yeah, you were in
it'll
this
be a fun
beautiful.
night.
Yeah. Oh, good luck out there.
Thank you.
But so I picked this story tonight because as far as I'm aware, and you don't have to elaborate any more than what I'm going to say, unless you want to, you are going to go visit the site of an alien abduction.
I am indeed, and um, we'll continue on that at a different time.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. So I decided that why not in that mode, right? Why
The
not
spirit, yeah.
we talk about the very first case of an alien abduction that actually was publicized. Why don't we dive into that? And that would be the case of Betty and Barney Hill. So that's why I decided to go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Please continue.
Are we ready? Let's 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 do
Where's
this.
everybody? Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so I'm just going to start with a little bit of Betty and Barney's background because, they were really well known in their community, really well liked people in their community. And so I'm only saying that because this is not something that they would have been known to make up, is what I'm trying to say. Betty was
Okay.
actually a social worker. They lived in New Hampshire. She was a social worker. Cared for foster children and families in crisis. So she was a really well respected, liked person. Barney was a United Air Force veteran. He actually was also a postal service worker. So they both were very well respected in their community. Um, and so, they just weren't the type of people to like make up the kind of story that comes out of what happened on September 19th, 1961. So that night, they were actually driving back from Niagara Falls. And I don't know if I had said it already, but they lived in New Hampshire. So they were driving back from Niagara Falls. Some of the things I looked at said that they had taken their honeymoon. It was late. It was like a later honeymoon, so they hadn't gone on a honeymoon right away. They had waited. And then they decided, it's time to take the trip. So they were coming back from Niagara Falls and they're driving down the isolated road of New Hampshire's White Mountains. And you're in the mountains as well. So um, it was late at night, an empty highway, and it was just the two of them on this wonderful drive. And that's when Betty actually starts to notice there's a big bright light in the sky, which is how these stories usually start. At first, she thought it was a star, but then she realized it was moving, and it was moving kind of strange and really quickly. And she pointed it out to Barney, and he's like, "Oh, well, it's probably like an airplane, whatever. Like it's not a big deal, whatever." But then it just kept moving, and it darted back and forth and started changing altitude, and it really seemed to follow them from where they were. So like that definitely is not an airplane. This is obviously not a star at this point. And they were like, okay, this is really interesting. Like, let's keep driving because Barney's just trying to be like, no, this is whatever. This is nothing, buddy. Like, it's fine. But they reached a stretch of road near Indian Head. and this object descended so low it seemed to hover just above the tree line. So at this point, Barney's like, okay, I'm gonna pull my car over and we'll get out, we'll look with the binoculars and see what this is. And they stop, and he's out and he's looking with binoculars, and this is when he notices that this is a craft. Um, it is disc shaped, and actually, at one point, I mean, it says disc shaped in some things, but I've also read that it was cigar shaped. Um, so it's an interesting shaped craft. It's hanging in the air, and through the wide windows of this craft, with the binoculars, Barney sees some humanoid, at least a dozen humanoid type creatures in the windows. And he is like, okay, this is not, this is not right. You know, he's kind of freaking out at this point. I want to say, like, he's not physically freaking out. He's trying to be very calm, but at the same time, he's like, we need to go. We need to go. So he says to Betty, they're going to capture us. And they both get back in the car and they hit the gas and they're starting to drive really fast. But as fast as they're driving, this object is actually keeping up with them. So it is keeping pace with them. It's scooping lower. And this is when they hear a series of buzzing and beeping sounds through the car. And then they both say that a tingling sensation kind of comes over them and their minds go fuzzy and then nothing. So when they wake up, because they don't remember anything after that point, they are, well, they're actually closer to home than they were before. And they get home and it's like around dawn. And they are just, it wasn't supposed to take as long as it did for them to get to where they were. They're missing at least 2 hours of time here. So that, of course, is one of the signs of alien abduction. But what I've learned from the X-Files is like 9 minutes. I don't know. You know I was going to bring X-Files into this, Gabriel. You know, some missing time, of course, means
Absolutely.
is one of the signs of alien abduction. So they get home and they're still kind of like they're kind of out of it. I want to say like dreamlight state. Like they're really just out of it. Their watches, both of their watches they had stopped working and never ticked again. Their car had these weird like circular shapes on it. There was for some reason like they put a compass above their car and it would just spin out of control. And then also Betty's brand new dress had like pink dust substance on it. And Barney's brand new shoes were scuffed as if he had been dragged. And the binoculars that they had been using earlier, the strap of that was also broken. So, yeah, that's an interesting night. You know, when I say I love an adventure, that's not the kind of adventure I am talking about. But
Seems like a party for sure, Raven.
it's like a party, Gabriel, but not my kind of party.
No, ma'am.
No, no. You know, the idea of missing time, I will say here, scares me. Like that terrifies me a little bit. Just the idea of
Well,
like,
I mean, I'll get into a future episode, but missing time is something I have personally experienced. And for me, when it comes to missing time, the part that I think that scared me the most is not knowing what happened to me in that time.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
dude,
what,
literally something happens and you're unaware. It really is a frightening experience.
no, it really does. It is a frightening experience. Like, I can't even imagine. Um,
But then again, Raven, when we were in the Sally house, one could say that we've experienced a little bit of a missing time ourselves because time seemed to move at sometimes slower and at other times quicker. So I think fundamentally it's kind of the same thing. perhaps.
Right? Yeah. The only time I've ever experienced missing time is in college when you drink too much and then you're like, oh, well, I missed a whole couple hours. I said in college. I said in college. Um, yeah, but I don't know. It's a little terrifying. So they're sitting here and they're trying to obviously like figure out what was happening at this point. But this experience wasn't done for them. They weren't done because now Betty actually started to suffer from nightmares after this. And these were very vivid, reoccurring dreams that she claimed seemed more like memories than they did imagination. So she, because when you're in a
Okay.
dream, when you have like those realistic dreams, that's what she's experiencing. So she said she dreamt of the roadblock of being aboard a strange craft by small humanoid figures with large bald heads and dark slanted eyes. They were inside a sterile curved room, and she recalled being examined. Hair samples, skin scrapings, and then the sharp agony of a long needle that was thrust into her abdomen until the pain was suddenly numbed away by a gesture from the being she thought of as the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And they studied her hands, her mouth, her eyes, and she remembered asking them where they came from. And at this point, the being showed her a map of the stars. It was a chart filled with glowing points connected by thin lines.
Okay.
Okay. So Barney also was having some memories. So while she was having dreams, he was starting to have a little bit of like memories that were coming through. And he said he remembered being on a table, like a metal table. Um, the beings were around him. He remembered a device that was actually fitted over his groin. He remembered the shame of realizing that they were collecting a sample from him, from his groin, and that he recalled scraping of cold instruments across his skin, and that he also, they were examining his mouth because he actually didn't have his real teeth anymore. He had dentures. And so they were very focused on examining his dentures and finding that that was really interesting. Like, so he was getting that memory that they were really, oh, your teeth are different or weird, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he's having all of these things happen as well. So that led them to seek the help because this went on for a while because in 1964 they decide they're going to talk to Dr. Benjamin Simon. He was a Boston psychiatrist, an expert in hypnosis, and they're going to try to figure out where all of this missing time came from and try to figure out what actually happened um, that night, right? So this went on for several months that they were doing this hypnosis. And we're going to start with Barney. Because again, remember, now these people, very practical. Barney was not the type to go and say all of these things. He just wasn't. But when he started under hypnosis and he was telling this story, he actually got really uncontrollably like hysterical. He would sob and he would gasp and he was like just reliving it and very fearful of the entire situation. And normally he's a very calm, collected kind of guy. Um, he described the craft landing in the road, the beings approaching, and his body was paralyzed, unable to fight back. He told of the eyes. They were enormous and dark, kind of like this, of course, every picture that you see of an alien or extraterrestrial. The big black eyes, that's what he's describing here. They seemed to pierce his mind and strip him of control. So everything was telepathic, you know, they had this
Telepathy.
power over him. Thank you. It was
You're welcome.
Betty kind of had the same kind of idea. Um, she just remembered the examinations, the abdominal needle, and just these beings, right? They didn't hear each other's stories, but their accounts did match. And actually, the idea of the grays, right? The ones that we have now come from
Yep.
their descriptions of these beings.
Oh,
So what we see as grays, what we call grays now, come from this account. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
right? So Dr. Simon, he was a little skeptical, kind of like we are in the paranormal. Like, we don't want to believe, like, we want to believe it, but all at the same time, like, we know we need to either debunk it or be skeptical because, you just
We
have
have to be
to be.
as true as true professionals that you and I are, Ray. We have to make sure that there isn't any outside influences.
Right.
Um, take this old cabin. Um, the power shabby, the signal's a little shabby, as you said. I see the lights flickered a couple times because it's about to storm out. We do have the hurricanes going on. So I'm starting to receive a little bit of that, and it's exciting. Um, but I know the creaking and stuff is just old floorboards. We've been around investigators that would hear a creaking of the floor and swear to God it's somebody walking, and it just
Yeah.
isn't. Wood expands and shrinks. That's just what happens. When your furnace kicks on, metal creaks. Just what happens. Depending on your dwelling, car go by, things rattle, things move. So to be skeptical on all things, I think is part of our job.
It really is. I think that being able to debunk things actually makes when things actually happen more real, right? Because if you're not able to debunk it, then you can say, okay, but we can't make this something that's naturally happening or something like, you know, the house is shifting, right? It makes it more real. All of that to be said, actually,
I
you
agree.
say that brings up an interesting. We were doing an EVP session last night, and we were sitting in the creepy room, the creepy room. You know what I'm saying? We were sitting
Do
in
you
the
want to
creepy.
elaborate on that
Do
investigation
you,
last night,
you
or do you want to just save it for an episode?
I don't know. I mean, I want to do a whole episode on the house for sure, but I
Yeah,
can
it
elaborate a
was a
little bit.
gorgeous looking house from the outside.
It
You
was,
said it was kind of Victorian on the inside.
yeah, it was a beautiful house. I mean, I will give you, it was an 1870s house. Um, very beautiful. There, like, oh, that red room, if it didn't have that super creepy feeling, it would have been really, but it switched though. Like, when we
It'd be
first walked
very
in,
peaceful if it wasn't for the ghosts.
yeah, which I don't
Yeah,
think were all nice ghosts. I don't think that they were, not saying that they were necessarily evil, but definitely a trickster in there somewhere. Um, the yeah, the room itself was one that, when I sent photos to you, because I'm doing a
yeah,
personal investigation without you, like, I have to send you what I'm doing. Like, you just have to, and
yeah. But we were chatting back and forth, so you were never alone, and you're with good friends.
which was so nice. I love that you guys are like, okay, Raven, you're crazy. Um,
Well, okay, if I may expand on that, let our family from Chumming with the Spirits, who also took a vested interest to make sure that our young Raven was safe.
yeah, they did. Like, first of all, okay, and then I'm like, oh, by the way, guys, this is how I am. I don't know that you didn't know. I mean, guess you didn't realize that. I will just randomly do this sometimes. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And they're like, wait, you are a woman and you're going into a haunted house? Um,
Well, that's why you have four strapping men as best friends.
like,
So when
I'm
you
so
get
lucky.
yourself entangled, you have a bunch of guys that will come and help you out. So
I
it's fine.
know. I know.
Lucky
Um,
you.
I feel super lucky actually. But I sent you guys pictures and right away you were like, okay, bad vibes from this room. And I'm like,
Mhm. Yeah.
which is
It was
funny.
obviously when you look at that house, just the vibes coming from a photograph on a phone, you could
Yeah.
just tell that it was a interesting. Just like the story we're talking about now, even the photographs of the car, that kind of thing, you could just tell that there are definitely things at play here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, we were doing an EV, well, back to like being skeptical and debunking things, but we were doing an EVP session. So Trish from Uber Paranormal and I were sitting in that room and doing an EVP session.
Uber
And
paranormal. I just love saying that. I'm
no,
sorry.
it's fine. She'll love that.
Yeah. People are like,
um,
no, Gabe's no more.
no,
Yeah.
she'll love that. Trust me, she'll love that. She she thought she caught something, and she's like, "Here, listen, listen," and it does sound like something. It sounds like a whisper. It sounds like something. But then I stopped and I went, "But wait, we're sitting here. There are windows here. The windows are open. Cars are going down the street. That's the tires outside on the street. Boop 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 boop."
Right.
And
Right.
sure enough, we stopped and we listened, and it boop boop, it's the tires. So you just have to be.
Boop boop boop. Can you please redo that? Because that was great.
Should I?
Boop 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 boop.
Boop, 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 boop,
I'm
boop.
assuming that was the tires on whatever. Was it a cobblestone road right outside?
No, just a regular road.
There was a boop 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 boop.
Yeah, I
It
think
was just the tires just boop 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 boop.
that's cobblestone. Brrr, you know, because it's bumpy. This is straight. Boop 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 boop
No.
boop. That's my car
Okay.
driving.
Right.
Brrr.
Oh, okay. And more of Raven Knight's impressions. What are you
I
doing?
do. Good.
I love it.
Dave says, "Do it
I
again."
love it. Does he?
Here it is.
Go, you do it. He wants to hear you, not me.
I
He
just
tells
did
me
it.
to shut up all the time. Like, listen,
No,
Gabe,
no.
let the girl talk. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry.
um, oh gosh, I used to do impressions all the time, but that's for another podcast or something.
Wait, you are a professional
No,
impressionist in what you got? That's what you have. Okay. All right.
no.
No, it's great. I'm okay.
My love for Elvis used to start with my impressions, but and Bob Dylan. I shouldn't bring this up. I don't want anybody to ask me to do it.
Bob
No.
Dylan, let's hear it. Let's hear a little Bob
Oh
Dylan.
God, I haven't done it in years. But when I worked college radio,
That's
people
okay.
their birthday, they'd call the station and I'd sing happy birthday to them in Bob Dylan style.
All right. Well, we have to hear it. We have to hear it. Dave,
I
she
mean,
listens
sing
to
on
you.
the podcast.
Tell her to do it. Do a
And
little
wait,
Bob Dylan.
if they do it in the comments, maybe I'll I don't know why I'm so embarrassed. Do you know what Bob Dylan sounds like, right?
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't listen to Bob Dylan. I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue. None. I'm sorry.
Do you really? You don't know what Bob Dylan sounds like?
How would I know? I don't know.
Bob Dylan really has a like this kind of.
I don't even know how to spell Bob Dylan. How to spell Bob Dylan?
Well, it starts with a B. Bob Dylan. You know, Bob, B-O-B, Bob. Okay.
It starts with a D. Dylan.
Ooh.
Dylan. What?
No,
I don't know. I'm just gonna send it like this. There you go. There's a comment online saying something about Bob Dylan. So let's just go ahead and do it.
I don't see a comment, but all right. Oh God. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Are you ready?
Yeah, you should be, but continue. Yes.
No, are you
Please.
ready?
Let's
for
do
the
it.
Music.
I am ready.
And you won't even know if it's right or not.
Even give me the Bob of the Dylanist, please.
Bob Dylan. Everybody must get stoned. Because he sings like that. So stupid. And
Wait,
that's
somebody actually sounds like that?
yes.
Me. That sound like Coneheads. Me. You know when they did the thing? I don't know.
And I used to sing "Happy Birthday to you."
Sounds like you have a lisp. Happy birthday to you. That's what I hear.
Oh my god. Whew,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure we have lost anybody that was listening,
No,
Raven.
we
I'm just
still
letting you
have
know.
listeners
They're
this
like,
time.
what is this? What's that?
We have listeners this time. It's great.
But their volume's not on. It can't be because you just. I was like, what's going on? Oh,
The things I do for this podcast. I
right.
think the last
So,
time
anyways,
20 years ago.
alien abduction. Speaking of alien abduction, how do you feel right now, Raven? Hmm.
I was probably abducted. That's why I'm like,
Ah,
I am. Okay.
I would say abducted and probing at the same time. Absolutely.
I was not going to go there. Our good friend
Yeah,
Larry,
I take it back.
our good friend Larry always likes to bring up the probing part of the alien abductions, but
Larry's a good man.
Larry is a good man. But he always mentions that when we talk about aliens. Oh, Larry. So
Where the
anyway,
hell were we?
uh, about the good doctor. So it's not the one in
The
the credits.
good doctor. Good doctor.
The good doctor. So Dr.
The
Simon.
good doctor.
We're back to
Yes.
Dr. Simon. He was really cautious here. And he said basically like, hey, let's keep doing what we're doing. He thought maybe though that they were just stressed, like, oh, this could be just you guys had some stress at some point and you're just imagining these things. But it was something about the way that Barney was telling the story and how Barney reacted when he was under hypnosis, that he was like more borderline, like more in the believing of him because he was like, I don't think that he's making this up. Like he just is so believing what he's saying, right? So in time, Betty would sketch the star map that she had seen, and now this was many years after that, but there was an amateur astronomer who actually said, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get the name of this right, but she said it closely. So the star map, if you remember that Betty had asked, and these beings had said they were from this location in the stars, and they pointed it out on the map for her. Anyway, this astronomer, many years later, said that it closely resembled the Zeta Reticuli star system, which is 39 light years away. So it resembled that. And now how would Betty even know what that even looked like? Like how would she know that? But yeah, this was the case that really that did it. Once it got all over to the press, like this happened, they pretty much became, I guess, hounded with people
Skeptics.
well, skeptics and it kind of grew like all over the media, probably more than they even wanted it to. Like I don't think that the point was for it to grow all over the media, but this was the that brought alien abductions and this whole idea to the public. There were movies about this, there's books, like it's now just been all over the place, and yeah, it's now the hugest case in UFO abduction history. This was it. Now, one of the things that also happened after their abduction and after all of this other weird stuff with dreams, the hypnosis, is that I do know Betty was experiencing like some sort of psychic type things afterwards as well.
Right. No. Yep.
And the
Absolutely.
paranormal activity.
Which is common when it comes to abductions. It's very common for people to have psychic experiences and paranormal. experience when it comes to ghosts, haunting, stuff like that. We've covered this many a time.
Yeah, and actually, that's another reason why I want to bring it up because I know that you have done, and I bring up the episode because it's a very interesting theory between the aliens and the paranormal. You know, like people who
Which
have.
brings me to the foothills of Tennessee to look into that theory of mine.
So don't get abducted. Wait.
Oh, I do
Uh-oh.
hope so.
But I just had a thought, which
Yeah.
could change everything. Do you think it could be possible that aliens or extraterrestrials, I guess, whatever, would would focus more on people that were more susceptible to those kinds of things?
I think that I think alien abductions are more of opportunity than maybe individuals at first. We both read about cases of people that have a history of alien abductions, things in their bodies that can't be explained. I do think that the initial abduction is a crime of opportunity, if you will.
Hmm.
But I do think that they do track the ones that they do monitor. Now they monitor the ones that they do abduct.
So what, and now if you can tell like our listeners or viewers, like what the theory is between, or the connection between alien abduction and then also paranormal activity, why do you think that happens? And I already know what your answer is, but.
I think it's the thinning of the veil.
Yes, I knew that was like
um,
you. I'm so
because if you think about it, for craft to actually travel millions of light years, I think it's more of a bending of time for them to be able to travel like they do. And Einstein had a theory of bending of time, how time is um, it's not real. I mean, it can be bent. I mean, it's real, but it can be changed and altered. If you stand close to a very large object, like a mountain, time moves slower than if you're standing next to a smaller object. Um, I do think that it is an opportunist alignment when it comes to alien abductions, but I do think um, you do somehow get marked, and they do continue monitoring them. Myself, I have never been abducted, but people that I have interviewed and people that I have studied that have been abducted, definitely, it is not a one and done. It is definitely a continuance.
It's a repeat occurrence. Yeah.
It most
Well,
certainly is.
I mean, I look at it as the same way of like if we go and track an animal, like let's say an animal in the sea, for example, like you have a dolphin, you have a shark, whatever it is, and you put a tracker on it. That's what they do. It's the same thing. We take an animal out of its place,
In theory, yeah,
we
absolutely.
put a thing on it, and we then track it and see what they do and how they're living and yeah, it's the same thing. We're doing it to other species.
Absolutely. We're nothing more than an animal to somebody else. So
Yeah. And I'm glad that you've never been abducted. That makes me happy for you.
it's like they
Yeah.
would have no use for me. They're like, you're already broken. They send me back.
Oh, no, they
I'm
wouldn't.
not worth the hardware, is what they would say. I'd cry, but it is what it is.
Baloney.
You know, I'll just
Baloney.
stick to demons and paranormal activity. It's fine.
So I know that you know this because I've said this a million times, but I actually, so we know I've always been about spirits, ghosts, like seances, all that stuff. Um, I had, when I was a kid though, that was my number one fear. It's never been, it wasn't heights, it wasn't public speaking. We know I'm not afraid of that. I was so scared of being abducted by aliens. I was terrified. Go to bed every night, terrified I was going to get abducted by aliens. That is, of course, until I found the X-Files and, you know, had the hots for Mulder, which I have to bring up because we're doing an alien episode. So
And who do I have hots for? We've discussed this many, many times.
Scully.
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah. And how could you
Gillian,
not?
if you are listening, anytime you would like to go for a drink or something, please get a hold of Darkwoods Paranormal by darkwoods.paranormal.com in care of Raven Knight, and she will make sure that I get it.
Yeah, yeah, it's fair. I would love to interview her. I think
Or,
she'd be
or just
interesting.
text me. I mean, I'm sure she has my number. I'm famous. Just text me.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
accept a text from her. Yeah.
Everybody has a
Uh,
number. Famous.
she's like, who is Gabriel? Gabriel's me. I'm your new ex-husband. Hello. Is she married right now?
Yeah.
Because once she gets to know me, she's like, I don't want this anymore. You know, I'd be like, well, I tried.
I I don't know if I can say the same for David Duchovny. I feel really terrible saying that.
He's
I
got
mean,
kind
David
of
Duchovny,
crazy.
if you're out
You know what I
there,
mean?
what?
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
what?
So,
But
Benny and Barney Hill, what's up?
so I don't know. What do you? I guess what do you think of this case? Have you? Is this a case that you've known ever, or is this the case that you've ever?
I have actually seen pictures of the car.
Mhm.
I remember watching interviews about this. Um, it is a very well documented case. I actually think it's a very interesting case study because who the Hills were, they were reputable people. I mean, they just didn't make up stuff.
Yeah.
So their alibi is pretty solid. Their background is pretty solid. So
Yeah, and I don't think that they were doing it to get the attention that it got. I really just don't.
well,
I
they got
think,
nothing but negative attention.
yeah. No, I lost your sound.
That's all I have.
No.
But I lose myself.
Your sound is like,
There I go. That's all I have. I didn't say anything else after that. It just,
okay.
it's like, well, you just quit talking, It's
I mean,
fine.
I guess that's it. I mean, they got
Sitting
nothing but
here.
negative attention. Yeah. But it was
Mhm.
the case that opened the door for other people to come through and be able to tell their own personal experiences. Um,
Absolutely was.
yeah, yeah. Now, when we talk about the alien and I want to say psychic connection or the alien and paranormal connection, that's not new. This is something that's been
No,
happening,
gosh, no.
and Skinwalker Ranch actually is a very famous place now for that being something that coincides in the same space. So,
Well, a lot of the places we've been, according to the place, including the place we were at last night, there are times in the day that I do think that the veil is thinner and things do bleed through. You yourself, through conversation with me yesterday, said that there were certain times that the atmosphere would change, and then it would change back. So the only difference of a atmosphere or the way a place feels, most of the time, is just the time that it happens at. We've experienced ourselves many times. You and I, Rave, we've been in a place that absolutely calm, and then a certain time would happen, just time, and the feeling would change. And then after a course of time, it would reset back to a very comfortable space. So, what is it about time, or what is it about the time of day that um, interferes or is thinner?
so that is because you just kind of my brain is bringing back so like my most and I know when we talk about the Sally House a lot, but that it's just because that sits in my head so much ever since we did it.
Right.
Which everybody's
Right.
probably heard the story at this point, but we'll talk about the lighthouse then because the lighthouse when we
Yeah,
were in the lighthouse,
down in the basement.
well, I was going to say when we first went into the lighthouse, we were both like, oh yeah, the energy in here is different, like is something. There's something,
Yeah.
right? And then the storm came through, and we're thinking, oh, okay, this is going to be an interesting investigation. And yet it just switched afterwards, and it was like a lot more calm.
It did.
It was not the same feeling as it was prior. And I was like, what the heck just happened? Because we just did a reverse switch, you know? Um,
Absolutely.
so last night, it was kind of the same. Like when we first went into that house, I really wish you could have been there, Gabriel, because honestly, like that room that I walked into, the red room, the one that it's actually not even called the red room. There's actually a different house in the room that's called the red room. That's actually not red, which is really funny, but because it was red and then they painted a different color. But the room that you and I are kind of talking about, that room, when I first initially walked in there, I was like, I really wish that Gabriel was here because the way that I felt walking into that room. And I think that you were far more, I don't want to say sensitive, but far more intuitive in that way. Maybe not intuitive either. You pick up on things faster than I do in that way, I would say. And I felt it as soon as I walked into that room last night. So I'm like, whoo, if Gabriel was here, whoo, And then when it was time to do the investigation, it had switched and I wasn't getting anything. But then at midnight, it switched again because I'm like, I wanted, of course, to wait till midnight to see what would happen, And yeah, the upstairs part definitely switched again after a certain time. So, of course, not for me. No, I did feel it. I had to go up and get my charger, and I was like, not up there very long by myself, I will say. I was not. Heavier. Yes, Dave says heavier, and that is exactly how it felt. Exactly. So, I don't know what if it's time or if it's, I mean, is it, we know rain and those things bring it, or is it certain situations when, well, I will say there was a bigger group of them. Now, I liked to do a lot of my investigation over by myself. So I was in the
Absolutely.
bathroom. Yeah, I was all alone for a lot of the stuff upstairs. And there was a big group of the group of them they were in another room. And after they were talking and like doing all their stuff, that's what happened when they went downstairs. After they went downstairs is when the air switched. So maybe they were just bringing it there. They were ramping it up by communicating and being very active with it.
Absolutely.
So
there's probably a bear walking outside, so my dog's reacting to that. I keep on looking over because he keeps on wanting to get to the door, and I'm like, well, let's not let anything in at this point.
No bears. No.
No bears.
It's a Bigfoot. Oh, it's a Bigfoot, Gabriel.
Come on in. I'll share a glass of wine. We'll smoke a cigar. We'll take pictures. We'll sit in the hot tub together. It's cool.
Gabriel and Bigfoot in a hot tub. I love that for you.
Yeah, but I think Bigfoot would probably smell like a wet dog afterwards, and that would be pleasant. However, I would grab a hairdryer, dry him off, fluff him up, set him on his way, give it an apple, say, hey, I'll call him Footy. Hey, Footy, have a good day, brother. Set him on his way. Slap him on the behind on his way out. I said, I'll be seeing you later.
I figured you would braid his hair for him. I was thinking you could do like little...
I don't know how to braid.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you don't know how to braid. Out of everything, you don't know how to braid.
If I did, I'd be like braiding this stuff. I don't know how to braid.
You just braid your beard.
But I would comb them. I'd comb them, make them look good.
Aww.
Yeah.
You could give them some beard oil and slick his Bigfoot hair.
I have beard oil.
I know.
Yes. We'd be putting beard oil on each other, Yes.
Aww. Maybe you can
changing, we'd be swapping stories. He'll be telling me stories about people. I'll be telling, like, listen, you're worth $1 million. I'm going to have to kill you. Listen, I don't want to. Hey, listen. You don't have to kill him? Well, how else can you get proof?
No. You just take the pictures with him. You don't kill him.
I love that. I can take a picture. Listen, sitting in the hot tub, our feet are up, We're just smoking cigars. We'll take a video. And I'm like, listen, I'll give you half. Bigfoot? Yeah.
Although,
thank you, brother. High five. He goes and eats some beef jerky, right? I mean, he doesn't know he has rights to that stuff, but I'll show him the commercials. Yeah. I'm like, listen, Jackie Lynx has you licked. And by the way, we are big
I was going to go there.
Lovers. If you love if you'd love to from us to promote your product with Bigfoot sitting in my hot tub, we'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
I
Dave
think
has a
they're in
great idea.
Mognog, Minot, Wisconsin, something like that. Let's
Minot.
go ahead and get a hold of those guys. Say, listen, Minog,
Minot.
what's it called?
Minong.
Minot. Okay, wow.
Minong.
Minot. Okay, Minot. Well, hey, their money's good. I don't care where they're from. Just write us a check, and I'll send the hot tub with Bigfoot eating Jackie Links. It'll be fine. It'll be the best commercial they ever had.
It would be the best commercial they ever had. Only brought to you by Dark
Absolutely. And then, yes, and then we could quit our day jobs and we could live in like Bigfoot Village. And I'm sure we've talked about this before. I'm sure they don't have Wi-Fi. However, with $1 million, we could bring Wi-Fi in. Yeah.
I don't think we should teach them how to civilize. I don't think. But all of this to be said.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to remind you, he's sitting in a hot tub with me, watching movies, smoking a cigar. He's already civilized.
Which movie are you watching with Bigfoot, though? I want to know. Which movie?
Harry and the Henderson. What else?
That's the one I would say.
With Bigfoot. Yes. I'd be like, listen, brother, this is you. This is your mother from a brother. There you go. Right? Watching it. We smoke circles. I know that, right? We smoke cigars. We drink it. We'd be like hopscotch, all kinds of stuff. It'd be just gonna stop.
No, but the fact that you said Harry and the Hendersons, because that's the choice I would have had. I asked that question with
what else would you watch with it? You can't watch Invasions of the Body Snatcher. You'd scare the guy. He'd be scared. Our Mars Attacks. Well, we could do that, but then he'd be scared of aliens. Just Henry and the Harrison. No,
because you can show him how to be best friends with you. Harry and the Hendersons.
We would watch Elf and say, "Listen, that's a midget Bigfoot."
Yeah. But he eat your cats. Elf eat cats.
So does Bigfoot. No,
he only eats Jack Links.
He roasts them on fire. Uses a little Jackie Link sauce on it. Yum yum yum. It's fine. It's fine. He eats cats and guinea pigs.
I drew the line there. I don't know why.
It's a delicacy. It's a delicacy overseas.
It is in South America.
Yes.
That's a true story.
It is. I was looking up how to care for a guinea pig once, and I stumbled across a site on how to prepare a guinea pig. I thought, my son saw that, and like, what are they eating? I'm like, they're eating chicken, sweetie. That's what they're just chicken.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's chicken.
I go back to that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just chicken.
They eat
we
them.
should have a taste.
No.
No.
No, I don't think I ever want to try guinea
So
pig.
alien abduction. I would say that the line has begun, my friend.
I know that.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. I think what an interesting case. And what a it's a huge case in the paranormal field. So I figured with your potential adventure, why not talk about the first one? So there we are.
Here we are.
Well, what do you think, Gabriel?
What? Die Hard. Listen, I'm over there with Dave. Die Hard, because he'd find that's cool, right? I mean, I think there's a cat in there somewhere, isn't there? We have people jumping from helicopters. Or no, that's not that movie. No, we have people blowing stuff up. He's a guy, right? He's watching people shoot things and stealing things. It's fine. Yeah.
Fine. Again, not sure if that's a good idea to teach Bigfoot that, but hey.
No, I'd buy him a burner phone. I give it to him. I'm like, listen, stay in touch, brother. Yeah.
Teaching Bigfoot a life of crime since 2025.
The boy's got to make money. He's too hairy and stinky to make legit. He'll be bringing, I don't know, drugs. He'll be cooking meth, you know? He'll be back there making moonshine in the back hills. That's fine. It's fine.
He probably
There's a
already
hair,
does make moonshine.
but it's good, you know?
Yeah.
What's
Once
that?
you have some moonshine, you don't care about the hair in it. It's fine.
That's for damn true.
You're speaking from experience. Oh, Gabriel.
I've been having a little moonshine this evening a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I don't care if your fingers are and your finger just touched my drink. It's fine. Down the hatch it goes, you know.
You're doing that mountain living over there. That's what it's like in the mountains.
Yes, I am. Yes, sir. Mhm.
Okay.
So
Well,
alien abduction. I don't know where we went wrong, but
I don't
somewhere
know
wrong
either.
for sure.
It's fine. I love the tangents we get on. It's fine.
Oh, good. I like the tantrums too.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Do you want to kind of close us out and I can tell our listeners what we.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody for our descent into darkness, and sorry about all the rambling. Bigfoot, I'm sure, will not go into life of crime. I'm positive. I mean, you know, he made it this far; he'll be fine. But seriously, I'm coming from you live from the foot here, just Smoky Mountain. Raven is in York Woods in Wisconsin. And join us next time on True Crime Thursdays. Do we know what we're talking about, Raven?
Actually, that's what I'm going to tell you. We have a whole switcheroo on Thursday. We are not doing True Crime Thursday.
Which Rue?
We're doing a switcheroo.
I like switcheroos.
I have a surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise.
What is switching, by the way?
No, we're switching. So Thursday, instead of doing True Crime Thursday, we are having guests on the show on Thursday. We have
People actually want to talk to us. That's awesome.
They want to be a part of the show.
What do they want to talk to us about?
Actually, all things paranormal. So Thursday we have Traveler's Moon. Will be
Traveler's
on
Moon.
show.
Good people.
Yeah, they are. So Chris and Kelly, they are going to be on Thursday night at 7:00 p.m. Central Time, and they are husband and wife duo. They do paranormal investigations, and Kelly, as far as I know, is also a medium. So it'll be very interesting to talk to them and get their take on the paranormal. We were supposed to have them on, or I was supposed to talk to them a while ago, but things kind of fell through. So this Thursday they will be on. We'll be able to talk to them. They go all over the place. They are booked with all of the stuff that they're doing.
Well, we're working on doing the same thing.
We are. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be here doing some Bigfoot hunting and also some paranormal investigations here in the foothills of both of us.
So I think we bring some Jack Links. We bring some moonshine.
Absolutely. Well, we have to. How are we going to bribe Bigfoot?
That's what we're going to do now. I think we have the game plan.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
I love it. So yes, that will be this Thursday. It'll be really interesting.
I love that.
They're really cool. Yeah. I met them at a couple of the conventions now. So very, very cool people.
Well,
we'll find them.
I want to thank everybody for joining us, especially you, Raven. You stay safe there in the Wisconsin with the cheese curds.
I love cheese curds.
As always, we do definitely thank you guys for joining us. All our friends online. We appreciate you folks giving us your time today.
Yeah, and of course, find us on all the socials. You know, Facebook, TikTok. We're on X, and all the other things we do. But you stay safe
on
over
all
there.
The things.
Stay safe.
I only do unsafe.
Did you say you only do unsafe?
Wow. Yeah.
That's what I think you said. Okay.
That's what I said.
Right. Thanks everyone for listening.
Well,
and come back Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time.
Stay aware, stay safe, and most of all, thank you for joining. Bye.